A very good day to everyone. I'm pleased to welcome one and all for Assunta's Facebook Live talk. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Jagjit Singh Hoti and I am a physiotherapist at Assunta Hospital. I'm honored to be the moderator for today's live talk. Our topic for today is home ergonomics and work from home. This pandemic has changed many impossible to possible, and one such is workstation at office has been replaced by working from home. It's my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Miss Rita Rani. She's a rehabilitation manager at Assunta Hospital. She has pursued her Bachelor of Physiotherapy in MGR Medical University, India, and Masters in Business Administration in Malaysian University of Science and Technology. She's an experienced physiotherapist for about 16 years in this field. Her specialty is in improving patient experience and holistic rehabilitation using contemporary approaches. Ergonomics has become her point of interest, whilst noticing the rise in number of clients with work-related postural problems. So here's a little reminder before I hand the next part of the session to our speaker. If you have any questions during the talk, feel free to type them into the comment box below this live stream. I'll bring the questions up during the Q&A section and they'll be answered by our speaker. And also, please don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family so they too can join. Now, without further ado, I welcome Ms. Rita Rani to speak on the topic home ergonomics and work from home. Please, Ms. Rita.
Hi, thank you, Jagjit, for your wonderful introduction. A very good afternoon to all the Assunta viewers. And I'm Rita, managing the Rehabilitation Department in Assunta Hospital. Our rehabilitation department includes speech therapy, occupational therapy, and physiotherapy. I'm very glad to give a talk in this topic, home ergonomics and work from home. I believe the session is beneficial to you. The widespread of working from home has opened up a new range of possibilities, not only at work but also in our day to day life. It has brought in a lot of changes in our life, especially brought in the flexibility in our working hours because we are working from home. And also, we have more family time now to spend with our family members. And also, we save a lot in our time as we are not traveling anymore, not caught up in the traffic jam and all that. It also saves money. Agree? We save a lot in fuel, and especially ladies, we save a lot in our makeup expenses. And most important of all, it's our own environment that we choose to work. When we talk about our own environment, of course, it should be really comfortable, right? Yeah. A comfortable zone. When we talk about a comfortable zone, this should be really suitable for our working nature. And remember, this comfortable zone can also mislead you to various discomforts because of your back posture. This is where ergonomic comes in, and this is the rationale why I chose ergonomic for today. And what are we going to discuss today? Can you please put the slides? Okay, we will be discussing about, just hold on, we'll be discussing about what is home ergonomics and what are the musculoskeletal problems due to our faulty postures. Musculoskeletal problems are like something like pain in your muscle, it can hurt your bone because of your posture and all that. And what it can be your ideal desk posture in sitting. And also, I'll give you some exercises tips and some preventive methods to prevent from all these musculoskeletal problems related to our ergonomic faulty positions. Okay, to move on, before we start, what is ergonomics? Okay, what is ergonomics? The word ergonomics is derived from the Greek word ergon means work and nomos meaning law. Ergonomics is actually the study of multiple different disciplines combining physiology, anatomy, human engineering, and psychology to create a work environment that is more suitable to people's needs based on their body and working nature. So that's why we have ergonomics here. We call it as a science of designing the job to fit the worker and not forcing the worker to fit the job. Okay, if we are going to force the worker to fit the job, what happens? There's a lot of stress. It's not only physical stress, and also muscle. We are going to stress the muscle, nerve, tendon, and bones, which we call it musculoskeletal stress. Okay, as we know that many of us know the fact that the screen is already altering our bodies. Yes, you agree with me? Yeah. When you bend down to look down at your phone, the phone screen, of course it hurts our neck. When you're typing in front of the computer, you get shoulder pain, right? Typing long. And if you're going to sit too long in front of the PC, obviously you're going to get a back pain. So what do? Of course, like average screen time junkies, we ask Mr. Google for a solution. And what does Mr. Google do? He gives you a lot of quick fixes. Of course, there are more than 1,000 products available in the market which are specially designed to prevent injury and also to protect your body. But I will tell you, it's not all these ergonomic toys are not going to actually help you at all. Okay, you can have fancy keyboard, you can have amazing, maybe a special pillow to support your back, or some people they even use the strap. We call it shoulder strap. Okay, so that you don't hunch in front of the computer. The shoulder strap will try to keep your upper body straight, and also they have special kinds of lumbar corset cushions to support your lower part of your body. Do you think all this will help? Of course, it helps to a certain extent. I will also share with you a startling fact that the most of the people who live in the rural areas of the world who are virtually untouched by technology, they actually experiences a lower rate of back pain when compared to people who live in urban areas. Why? Because there are people in rural areas who carry heavy weights on their heads and even heavy loads on their back. What happens? Have you seen the pictures or in videos or in movies? You could have seen them carrying heavy weights, but you will see their neck position is very straight. The neck is exactly straight with the shoulder it's sitting straight on your shoulder, so that the heavy weight is being carried and the weight is distributed evenly towards your throughout your spine. And the same thing goes when they carry any heavy weight on their back. But we people who, I don't mean that we are leading a sedentary life, but most of us we are forced to sit in front of the PC like 8 to 10 hours a day, but we do have a bad posture. I don't know how many of you agree with this, but this is the truth. So what happens if we have a bad posture? Obviously, we end up with back pain, neck pain, shoulder, it hurts our shoulder, knee pain, elbow, and wrist as well. And for people who are working from home, we are not just doing office work from home, right? You have to do other household works like, it's not that only women do household. Now, I think during the MCO time, our men were super helpful. So they had to do cleaning, some they even did cooking, feeding their children, and apart from that, they have to do their office work from home. So this is where it leads to all these injuries if they don't take care of their posture properly. Okay. So what do we mean by these musculoskeletal disorders with these pains? Of course, we categorize them to two types. One is sprain and strain. Sprain and strain is something, it happens instantaneously. Like maybe I'm doing my work from home, and I want to take a break. I just go do a gardening. All of a sudden, I just decide, okay, I'll take a break. I'll go do gardening. I have not done any strengthening exercises for my back. suddenly I go bend down, I carry heavy pots. Yeah, there goes my back. I get a sprain or strain. And this kind of pain is just instantaneous and it can be cured fast by rest. Maybe you can use a hot or cold pack at home to soothe your muscle, to relieve your muscle spasm. And also, if necessary, you can go for a medical advice. And there's another part where we call it cumulative trauma disorder. This is actually, you can see the term cumulative is already a cumulative trauma, which is mainly because of our working nature, the position how we sit, whether it's going to put increased pressure on your joints, or maybe it's giving you more stress, or the vibration that causes, and sometimes the repetitive actions you do will cause this cumulative trauma disorder. So these are the general types of musculoskeletal disorders we face while working, not only at home but also in our office. Let's start with this head posture first. Okay, how many of we know that our neck can carry only 12 pounds of our head weight, which is very common. Yeah, our neck can carry 12 pounds of our head weight, which is the natural uh, thing which has been done by the anatomy of the creation. But if we are going to bend down or stoop forward 1 inch, it's going to add up another 12 pounds, which will be 24. And if you're going to further bend down, it's going to further add on the weight, and I don't think your neck can take it. So, what happens? Eventually, you will start stooping the head too much forward, and this where do we do this, especially when we see our screens in the hand phone. Okay, and what happens, our muscle, as you see in the picture, you can see the stoop posture, the muscle will get tightened as we are doing it every day. I think most of the time we are on our handphone, the muscle will get tightened. It will cause muscle spasm. It doesn't just injure only your muscle, it will affect your bones eventually. Your bones will just try to adopt to that posture, where you will get a lot of problems like cervical spondylosis and other kinds of neck problems, wry neck, and all that. But okay, I should share with you this. The youngsters of today, when you compare the x-ray of a 18-year-old with a 60-year-old, you can see the x-ray results are almost the same. They do have osteophytes at this young age itself. So that's why I'll advise you, when you use your handphone, try to keep your handphone right in front of your face. Try not to bend your neck. Instead, just lower your eye level to look at the screen. And I think we should spread this news to all our family and friends, and especially our children at home. And this is an ideal standing posture. It's very easy to say, right? Stand straight, stand straight. We tell everyone at home, in our office, hey, stand straight. But we should know in the first place how to stand straight. And it's not easy to stand straight for long hours. You can have different postures like sway back. You can see the picture that he's swaying back. Lumbar lordosis. Lordosis is something you have a curve at the lower back. Yep. Most of the pregnant ladies will have lumbar lordosis because their abdomen is getting bigger, right? And even we, when we put on weight in our abdomen and there's muscle weakness in our stomach area, of course, it will pull forward and there will be increased lumbar lordosis, which is not good. And there's one more standing posture, which is thoracic kyphosis, where, like as if you're carrying school bags. Yeah. And this is another wrong posture. And the next one is just forward head tilting. This is mainly because of the handphone use. And finally, is the good standing posture. So we should have an awareness of that this is the right posture to stand. Okay. Now, we all know about, we actually adopt to all these common faulty postures in our day-to-day life. Okay, when we sit in front of the computer, we are aware, but as you are indulged in your work, sometimes you will just forget how you're sitting. You will try to, slump, you will have a hunchback, and slowly your face will be tilted too much towards the screen and all that. You can see in this picture, this person is having a slump, a hunch on, he's hunching on his laptop, right? That's because he's not using a proper table height and not a proper chair. In this picture, you can see that he's putting more weight on his strain on his neck and also in his upper back. Of course, he put weight on his elbow and shoulder, and also he strains his wrist. But the more I see here is his neck part and his upper back part. Okay, this is another common faulty posture, slouch sitting. Okay, when we get tired at work, we think this is a very relaxed posture, but actually, you see in this picture, he is excessively giving pressure at his gluteus and hips. This is going to cause a very severe back pain in days to come. However young we are, as we grow old, our bones will get old too, and this will cause a lot of degeneration in our later part of our life. And here you can see he's putting more constant pressure on his heels as well. This lady is also having a wrong posture. Here you can see that she is putting excessive pressure on her elbow. What happens if you put excessive pressure on your elbow? Of course, you're going to strain your muscle. It's not just straining your muscle, it's going to cause inflammation in your muscle and also your nerve. It will entrap your nerve, it can cause nerve inflammation, and you can have numbness, you can have radiating pain, and all those kind. Okay. And this is another advice. When we work from home, we like to shift from place to place. Sometimes we go sit on the sofa, our dining chairs. We can even just take a short while. We can sit on our breakfast table, which can be, some use the high stools for breakfast tables. Okay. And this kind of dangling position is strictly very bad because it puts in a lot of strain in your hip area, and also it causes a lot of strain in your ankle, and you can see the knee area, you're going to overstrain your knee muscles. So now we come to the main point of our talk today. This is our ideal sitting posture. I think many of us know this, but still we should try to bring in this awareness, and we should try to tune ourselves. Let's start with the head. Our head should be upright and over the shoulder, okay? And your eyes should be looking straight downwards without bending from the neck. You don't bend down, just your eyes should lower down, and back should be always rested, and your lower back should also be rested. You can use a lumbar cushion, or nowadays the ergonomic chairs come with the lumbar support as well. And make sure your wrist is in neutral position, and your table height should be, yeah, many of them ask us these questions. What should be my table height? Of course, your table height should be your elbow height. That will be your apt height for your personal heights. Your thighs should be horizontal, either 90 to 110 degree at the angle of the hip, and your feet must be always rested on the flat. It should be rested flat on the floor. If let's say you can't reach the floor, you can use a raised platform or a small stool to raise it higher. Okay. And I'll give you a few tips. Avoid using, I repeat again, avoid using your dining tables, and your desk height should be 40% of our height, and also maintain your elbow 90-degree in front of your PC. And your wrist positions, there's a lot of, as I was talking, there's a lot of ergonomic toys available where you can position your wrist. Of course, whatever you use, you remember that your wrist must be in neutral position, not deviating to the left or right, lateral or medial. If you're Okay, so these are some simple DIY solutions. Let's say you don't have a proper table height. Nowadays, a lot of things available. You can just get the bush and you can raise the table height. When you raise the table height, and if you're using a laptop, try to raise the laptop using some books or something underneath, and make sure your address bar to be in line with your eyes. And this is another simple DIY where people don't have ergonomic chairs. You can use a small roll towel or a small cushion to exactly support over your lower back, the curve area. And this is a fantastic position we all love to. We think that this is a relaxed position, but you see the picture. Is he relaxed? Of course, he looks relaxed, but actually not. He is going to strain his neck muscle badly. And we are just talking about working from home, right? And I'll tell you some don'ts also. Don'ts is do not bend down to pick up things from the floor. Okay, then you can ask me, how am I going to pick up the things from the floor? You should always squat down, especially when you're carrying heavy weights. You follow the picture here. You should always squat down from your knees. Try to carry the object. Try to keep the object closer to your body, and then you can carry and you can, even when bringing it up and putting it down, you should maintain your body's spinal position to be erect. Okay, if you're going to bend down and carry, definitely you're going to hurt your back. Okay, so we know that do's and don'ts, and what we should do. The first thing we should do is to prevent, right? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I'll give you a quick self-evaluation what you should do. Okay, you try to bend and touch the floor with the straight knees. You just see whether your knees hurt, or maybe you can't touch the floor, or maybe you feel your calf, your hamstrings, your muscles in front of your thigh and your back of the thigh hurts. Does it? Okay, then you have some problem there. And for your neck, especially, you try to move your neck to your right, left, up, down, see whether your muscle hurts, or sometimes even you might have some bony stiffness where you can't reach your full range. Yeah, it's time to consider on that. And also try to do some stretches for your wrist to see whether there's any pain. And what should you do if you have a pain? Do not ignore. Sometimes you need to pamper your body, right? Respect your pain position and stop doing the painful activity. What I mean by stop your painful activity is not that completely stop your task. No, you can do your work, but try to adopt a better position. I'll give you some tips that for every 20 minutes of work, what we can do. This is a very good exercise for your eyes too, to relax your eye muscles. Maybe you can keep a small pot of green plant 20 meters away from your sitting place. And every 20 minutes, take a break. Just look at divert your eyes to the plant, see something green for 20 seconds, then you divert back. This is a very good exercise for your eyes as well. And try to relax. Of course, we all love this, right? We like to relax every 20 to 30 minutes, but sometimes it's not practically applicable. You will be indulged with your work and you will forget that it's the 20 minutes has gone to 2 hours. You have to take a break. You have to take a break. Maybe you can have a cup of coffee with your family, or just relax yourself, chit chat with your friend. Again goes the handphone again. Okay. And these are some exercise tips for you. When you take a 20 minutes break, you can do some neck exercises, do some stretching. I will show you a video where I asked my colleague to do it for you. This is just for the demo purpose. So every 20 minutes, we want you to exercise. Just move your head, neck up, down, sideways, very gently, right? And to your side rotations. Since it's for demo purpose, she's just doing once, but you can repeat it a few times. And then this is called stretching. You have to give a bit of force so that you stretch your muscle. When you do your stretching, of course, you should feel a slight pain or the stretching feeling. So now she's doing stretches for her neck muscles, up, down, sideways, and side rotation. Now she's doing her shoulder shrugging, relaxing her shoulder muscles and her upper back, just doing shrugging, forward shrugging and backward shrugging. And also stretching her triceps and her upper back. And this kind of trunk rotation, for people with back pain, we don't advise you to do a quick trunk rotation. You can do it very gently with your trunk rotations and side flexions. And of course, your back extensions. Again, I repeat, we don't advise you to do forward flexion. Okay, this is a simple exercise where each movement you can hold for few seconds, like 5 to 10 seconds also will do. Okay, and this is one of the important exercise which is not very difficult to do, but you should try to learn to make a double chin, which is ridiculous, but still it helps a lot. It tries to strengthen up your neck muscles. This exercise you can do repeat a few times, a few repetitions, few times a day. In your office, maybe if you're stuck up in the traffic jam, watching television, you can just try to do your chin tucks. And we were just talking about the upper part of the body. How are we going to relax the lower part? We are sitting too long. You can just come out from your sitting table. Just try to do some leg stretch, especially you stretch your hamstrings. Okay, you can do some hamstring stretch. Try to squat down, and this will also stretch your quadriceps. And squatting is very important for to improve your blood circulation. Maybe not many times, even if you have any knee problems, you can just do it 2 to 3 times, like every 20 seconds. It pushes up your blood circulation since we are not walking more now. And do some stretches for your calf by putting one leg forward. You can do this calf stretching using staircase as well. And the next one is the gluteus stretch. Gluteus stretch, you can see the picture. You can nicely sit comfortable and try to press your knee down. This will also stretch your piriformis. Like if you have any nerve entrapment, it will help to relieve and also relieve your muscle tightness. And the most useful of all is your back stretch. Every 20 seconds, get up and do your back extension. Okay, so what we advise here, recognize your early signs of inflammatory processes and try to take treatment early. Do not ignore. Try to get more medical advice. How? Of course, when you have pains and aches, you will see the doctor. The doctor will prescribe you to a physiotherapist. How can a physio help you? Of course, what we do, our main objective is to relieve your pain. We have a lot of modalities to relieve your pain. Pain is not just relieved by modalities. There's a lot more than that. You can do exercises. We do have soft tissue release. We do trigger point and many more techniques. And after our main objective is to relieve your pain. After relieving your pain, we have to focus in correcting your posture, which is very important. If I'm not going to correct your posture, again you're going to adapt to that same awkward posture, which is going to cause pain again, and you have to be visiting doctor and the same process again and again, right? So we have to correct your posture, and then comes your strengthening exercise, which is very, very important. And not stop with that, of course you should do maintenance. Like how we do maintenance for our machines at home, you should consider your body as well, and you should have a good maintenance. Okay, before I finish my talk, you can have a wonderful ergonomic chair, and you can have a lot of ergonomic toys, right? Okay, but you should know, your body should know how to position yourself. It's actually your posture and it's not your furniture. Don't blame your furniture. Some, they will have a very expensive ergonomic chair, but they will still complain, oh, I'm having back pain. It's why? Because your body doesn't know how to use the posture. Okay, so it, before you start to worry that changing your posture is not that difficult, anyway, I'll tell you a secret. Your body already knows what to do. Okay, chances are there, because when we were young, we had an amazing posture. You can see the picture here. When you, this is actually we, when we were young, we had an amazing body posture. You can see the baby and the girl both have their head upright, sitting on their shoulder. You can see the chest area is wide open, and their bone spine is long. And most of all, what is it? They are relaxed, right? But this is actually the most efficient and natural way of sitting. So remember, relaxing is not just relaxing in front of this television. Okay, once after, since I say take a 20-minute, take break every 20 minutes, it's not that you run in front of your TV, lie down in an awkward position and relax. Of course, you might relax your mind, but again, your body, because of this awkward position, is going to be stressed. Okay, so it's, again, I repeat, it's not the quick fixes or the ergonomic toys that's going to help you. It's all your awareness. You should tune your body with your postural awareness and also the inner wisdom, which is already within us. Okay, thank you. Before I finish the session, please allow me to take you for a tour to my department before the Q&A session. Okay, this is my department, rehabilitation department in Assunta Hospital, and I would like to take you for a tour. You can come with me. Okay, sorry, just give me a minute. Okay, okay, just a minute. Okay, hold on. So we have a lot of various facilities in rehabilitation department. So just for the video preparation, we are just showing a few services. Of course, we have a lot for ortho, neuro, cardio. We do have vestibular rehabilitation as well, which is a very common one. We do have vestibular rehabilitation, and we do have many other facilities. Okay, sorry, why the sorry the video keeps ending. Okay, so maybe we can, okay, I have to press the slideshow for you, and I click here. Okay, here goes the video. Come, let's go for a mini tour. This starts from our reception. Yeah, these are the electrotherapy areas, and we do have a mini gym. And this is our laser. Yeah, this is helpful for most pain reliefs and also for recovery. Yeah, we just had our World Physio Day yesterday, and I believe that the session was beneficial and fruitful. Thank you. Okay, Jackie.
Thank you, Ms. Rita, for the interesting and informative talk. I have learned
Yeah,
so much already about ergonomics and working from home. Looks like there are quite a number of questions from our viewers, so let's dive straight into the questions, shall
okay.
we, Ms. Rita?
Can, sure.
All right. So there's a question from Mr. Kumar Lechu. So the interesting topic, and I have a soalan. I have a friend suffering from back pain. He sits too long in front of his computers, playing games and working, and also Netflix, I suppose. Some people have suggested to use a back brace since he doesn't really exercise. We need help? There's a question from Mr. Kumar Luchu.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Kumar. Hi. Thanks for joining us in this live talk. Okay, your question is quite it's a quite good question, of course. Most of them have this in their mind, and we do have a lot of customers asking us this question as well. Okay, you saying lumbar corset, and you say your friend has got back pain, and you want to use a back brace. Okay, I got it. Okay, Back support, we call it lumbar corsets or braces, which you can use it when during your acute stages. And this corset is not going to help you in recovery. It's just going to protect you and prevent you from further injuries. So if you're going to be dependent on these braces, so what will happen? The action of this function of this brace is actually to stop your muscle action, okay, so that your muscle don't move much. So for how long are you going to pamper your muscle? If you're going to pamper too long, what happens? The muscle will go for weakness and slowly it will go to atrophy. So we believe all these corsets and braces will cause a lot of dependency and muscle atrophy. So it's not that I say don't use corset. You can, like when you're traveling long, going, especially for back pain patients, when you're traveling long and when you're walking too long in the shopping malls or what, we do advise our patients to use. But at the same time, prioritize your time for back strengthening exercises too. Okay, you can use corset, but at the same time, make sure you do some exercises to work that muscle and to strengthen that muscle. Hope I answered your question.
All right. There's another question from Miss Emilia Zuri. So I am above 40 years old. Nowadays, standing in the
Okay,
kitchen for
sure.
too long. Do you have any advice for Miss Emilia Zuri? Miss
It
Rita?
hurts her back.
Yeah.
40 years old. Okay. When we reach 40, it's very common to have our bone degeneration slowly taking place. And of course, if your back hurts when you're in the kitchen, it's not only in the kitchen, like when you stand too long, or maybe when you're washing dishes, cutting vegetables, or even it can be any other profession, even for people who are working as teachers and
Yes.
any standing professions, you can choose this technique. You can use a raised platform. Sometimes even the tables, or you can use a raised platform or a small footstool. Okay, try to raise one leg on top, put it on the top, put it on top of the stool, and try to alternately change your left and right leg so that every 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, you shift your body weight to both the legs. So it causes less strain to your backbone. This will help to a certain extent, but at the same time, I will still advise do exercise. And if it hurts more, then please take medical advice.
Okay, thank you,
Next
Miss Rita.
question.
Before we go on to our next question, for all those who are still live with us today, you may still submit your questions via the comment box below, and please do keep the questions coming, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. All right, there's another question coming in from Miss Viesha Noha. Um, One second. Hi, I have been suffering from neck pain for a couple of months and always postponing to get any medical advice. How can I consult a physiotherapist in Assunta? That is a question from Miss Viesha
Miss,
Noha.
okay. Thank you, Miss Vesha. Okay, you have said that you have neck pain for a couple of months, and okay, you're postponing, you're not seeing any doctor, right? Okay. You're most welcome. You can visit our physiotherapy department in Assunta. Before that, what it's very simple. You have to either make an appointment to see a consultant, or it can be a medical officer also. So once you see them, they will refer you to our physiotherapy department. So from then, you can get treated for your neck.
Okay, thank you. That was a wonderful
Hmm?
explanation, Ms. Rita. So there's now one more question coming in from Mr. Ong Ming Yu. So the question
Okay.
is, I have neck and back pain after sitting too long. What physiotherapy treatment can you provide? So that's a question from Mr. Ong Ming Yu.
Okay, Mr. Ong Min Yu, hi. Yeah, you have both neck and back pain because of sitting too long. Okay, what treatment can we do? Of course, the treatment is not same for all the patients. It can vary with individuals. Not necessary we use only modalities for pain relief. We can have, we see your working style, okay? First thing is to relieve your pain, we can use modalities, or we do trigger point, we do muscle myofascial release, and all other techniques which we know. And once your pain is relieved, as I said, we will go on with strengthening exercises. And of course, we have to correct the posture. We have to see how you sit and work in front of your computer, and of course, your maintenance exercises. Hope I
Oh,
answered your question.
yeah. Thank you for the explanation, Miss Rita. There's one more question from Miss Dini Kong. Is it okay to lie down on my stomach when I'm reading books? Will it cause any injury to muscles?
Oh my God. This is definitely a bad posture, Miss Dini. Okay. So anyway, thanks for raising it up. Lying on your stomach, how are you going to read? Definitely you're going to hyperextend your neck to read the book. And this is really going to cause a very bad neck injury. I will tell you, please stop this. And please sit down with your back support. Either if you are a nighttime reader, you can sit on your bed with your backrest, and then you can either keep two pillows to raise and support your arm so that you don't strain your shoulder part. Then you can read, or a reading desk, but definitely not lying down on your stomach.
Okay. Thank you, Miss Rita, for the informative, informative answers. So, thank you everyone for the questions. Thank you everyone for keying in the questions. In the interest of time, I'm afraid that we won't be able to address any more questions, but please still do keep the questions coming. We will try to answer the question as soon as we can. Well, we have reached the end of our live talk today. Thank you once again to our speaker, Ms. Rita, for giving us in-depth look into the topic home ergonomics and working from home. Thank you everyone for joining us live today in the talk, and I hope you have benefited a lot from this talk. And please stay safe, and thank you so much again. Take care and bye bye.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you for paying
you. Thank
attention.
you.